Hey everyone, Illusionist Dave here, and I had an amazing few days, and wanted to update you all and tell you all about it. Thursday evening, I found out that there was this group called the Martins. The Martins is a gospel group that I actually saw in Tupelo last year in July, okay, at the Tupelo Elvis Festival. Found out that the last Thursday evening, that was the 22nd of September 2011, they were going to be at our county fair, and it was like $5 entry fee, and then you got to see the music for free. So uh, went and had a great time. And what was so cool? All right, so in 2010 we saw him, and I went to the Tupelo Elvis Festival with my mom, and I was decked out in a red jumpsuit with studs and all that stuff, and I had my hair slicked back, very Elvis-esque, and I had the Elvis sunglasses, and my hair was pitch black, and I had both of my legs. Okay, and Jonathan Martin, the guy in the group, there's two sisters and a brother. The brother in the group saw that I was having trouble up a hill in Tupelo, and so he came and he helped me. So that was cool, a cool story in itself. So we went to the concert. It was wonderful. They talking last Thursday, I mean. We went to the concert and they did a bunch of great songs. One song you need to check out if you've not heard of it, or even if you have heard of it, it's a great song. It's called The Promise by the Martins. It is an amazing song. It's very uplifting. And the whole evening was uplifting. I mean, you know, you see a lot of gospel singers and they're always smiling and always happy, and you wonder, you know, why they probably don't ever have trouble in their life or why they don't struggle. But the Martins made it very clear that they do. Um, the older sister suffers from depression, which I also do. So, um, and the older sister said something that was very surprising to me. She was talking about how a lot of times churches want you only to rely on God for the cure, and which there is no cure really, but they want you to rely on God for the answer. And what that means to them is don't depend on anybody else. It just means ask God to help you and He will. Um, but sometimes God puts things in our lives that are very traditional and exactly the answer. They're just not miracles, so to speak. I mean, there's medicine. And she talked about how a lot of people don't think that Christians should take medicine, and she takes medicine. And is a much probably more fun person to be around when she does. And it reminds me of that joke about this guy who's in his house and the whole town is being flooded. And um, this officer knocks on his door and says, "Sir, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. The whole town's gonna be flooded. You're gonna die if you do not leave." And he says, "No, I'm fine. I trust in God. God will save me." And so the water starts getting about knee high. It starts getting pretty high, and this boat comes across and knocks on the door and says, "Hey, sir, you need to get out of your house. You're going to die if you don't come with us." And the guy says, "No, I have faith. God will save me." So then, several minutes later, it's starting to get up to chest high. Okay, and the water is really, really high now. And then there's another knock on the door, and it's another lifeboat. And the guys in the lifeboat say, "Listen, sir, you got to come with us. You're gonna die if you do not come with us." And he says, "No, I have faith. God will save me." And then, it gets so high that the guy has to climb up on top of his roof, and even that's almost flooded. I mean, it's so, so high. And then all of a sudden he sees a helicopter buzzing ahead, and the guys throw down a rope ladder and say, "Listen, sir, you need to come with us. If you don't, you're going to die." And he says, "No, I have faith. God will save me." Well, several minutes later, the water gets so high that he dies. And he goes up to heaven, and he's like, "God, what in the world? I trusted you to save me." And God says, "I sent you two boats and a helicopter." So I think that's a lot of how God works. We often look for uh, the clouds to clear and the heavenly music and God to come down and do that. But anyway, that was just a little preachy. I'm sorry, but anyway, I thought that was a very uplifting night. And also the older sister. Did I say the younger sister? The younger sister suffered from depression. I don't know if I said that or not, but the older sister. Um, Talked about how she in the past, she didn't go into detail, but she's been into some really shady stuff. And she actually said if she had kept going down that path, she would have been in jail. So I don't know what that path would have been, but sounds serious. And so their lives are not perfect, and that was very uplifting. So then, all right, after the show, I went up to Jonathan Martin, who is the lead, or who's the brother singer. And I said to him, "Hey, Jonathan, my name's David Smock. I met you in," and he says, "Yeah, in Tupelo. I helped you up. I helped you up the hill in your wheelchair. How glad to see you made it. How are you doing?" And I was just shocked because, like I said, okay, in Tupelo, I was decked out in a red jumpsuit with studs and all that. My hair was slicked back like Elvis, pitch black, and had no beard, and I had some sideburns, and both my legs. And now I have no legs, and I look like this. How he and it was 8 p.m. on Thursday when we said hi. So how he recognized me, I don't know. I think that's fascinating. How he remembered me. Um, so that was cool. So that was Thursday. Then Friday, not much happened. Got to visit some friends and things, and that was nice. Saturday, in Newport, Arkansas, they have a yearly festival called Depot Days. It's actually a yearly rock and roll festival because in Arkansas in the early 1950s or mid 1950s, I guess you'd say, Elvis, Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and all these early guys, Charlie Rich, Sonny Burgess, all these guys would go around Arkansas towns. They had this Highway 67, and there were all these bars and clubs on this Highway 67, and these old guys would or young guys would perform in these small towns, and it was before they ever got famous. I mean, they weren't. They'd signed with Sun Records, okay, in Memphis, Sun Studios in Memphis. And I'll tell you about this in a minute. Let's see, Sun Studios in Memphis. Which when Elvis recorded his record, it was Memphis Recording Service, I think it was called. Anyway, um, so they have this festival every year, and they got J.R. Rogers, who was he's a state representative. He got a bill passed that named Highway 67 the Rock and Roll Highway. So we got the Rock and Roll Highway in Arkansas. You can look it up. And in Newport, they really celebrate it. And I think JR is from Newport, if I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken on that. But anyway, at the festival, they had so many famous people. They had, you know, all these early guys from Sun Studios, including Sonny Burgess. Sonny Burgess is from Newport, and he recorded with the Pacers. It was Sonny Burgess and the Legendary Pacers was the band, and they had a huge hit with Red-Headed Woman, and he was there, and I got to meet him, and it was so cool because he gave me this. They were selling these, and he gave me that. I thought that was so cool. So, um, I also the headliners were the Georgia Satellites, and they had the huge hit in the '80s with my mind just went blank. They had a huge hit in the '80s with "Keep Your Hands to Yourself." There we go. And they were there. I got to meet them, and I'm going to show you something real cool. Where did I put it? I got this poster from Depot Days, and you can see who all was there. Really, just a fascinating thing. Let's see, where did it go? trying to find Sonny's. It may be, yeah, it is. It's right there on top of the. There's Sonny Burgess. There's J.R. Rogers, I believe. Yep, and then I can't. Fred Douglas, who was part of the Pacers, and just a whole bunch of people, and they all signed this for me. So it was really cool. I also got. Look at this. This is cool. A This is the Pacers. I've got Kern Kennedy signature and Sonny Burgess and Bob. I don't know his last name. I'm sorry. But that's an old picture of Sonny. So that was awesome. And I'm running out of time. This is a long video. But also, all right, the coolest thing ever. Sonny was selling CDs, okay? And he had a 10, or excuse me, $10 each or 3 for 25 special. And he wrote it on a sign, which he then gave to me after the show. And it's on the back of this. So I actually have two photographs, but I've got the actual for sale sign signed and handwritten by Sonny Burgess. So that is an awesome piece of memorabilia. And of course, this is two uh, personal gift from Sonny Burgess. So it was a great, 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 great trip. And that's really all I wanted to say. I wanted to brag about all this stuff. It's just fascinating. There's a band in Memphis called the Stunning Cunning Band. They do early Elvis and rockabilly, and it's awesome if you like that kind of stuff, and which I do. I like it even more now than I used to. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I've gone way too long with this video, but I just had to tell you the awesome stories. So go Martins, go Sonny Burgess and the legendary Pacers, go Travis Womack, go J.R. Rogers, go Stunning Cunning Band, go Georgia Satellites. Woohoo! All right.